Okay, what's up, y'all? So this is LA Jordan here with Hat Talk Radio. So what things I'm about to discuss are for entertainment purposes only. Do not take these to heart. Okay? Okay, so I was sitting here thinking, per usual. And I was sitting there thinking, man, and I was like, yo, what if we got this whole like dating thing wrong? And like God knew what he was doing from the beginning, but we just ain't caught on to it yet, right? Okay, so check this out, right? So I've been going through like this surge of like masculinity, not masculinity. What is it called? Misogyny, right? I've been having to deal with a lot of misogyny for like the last couple of years, right? And I've been like, oh my god, this is crazy. But oh my god, but I was sitting there thinking, right? I was like, wait a minute, what if the misogynist might know something that we don't know? Like even though they sound stupid for saying a lot of stuff that they say. No shade, but all shade. But like, what if like some of the stuff that they saying is dumb? But in the same regard, what if they low key got a point? So I was watching this guy on TikTok, and I would tell you who it was, but just in case. I can't tell you who it is. But anyway, I was watching this guy on TikTok, a very, very important influence on TikTok the other day. He was talking about, he had posted a video about this man that was saying that he likes to date younger women because they're more impressionable. Right? Now, when you're dealing with a lot of misogynists will use younger women for many different reasons, but most of the time they will use younger women to quote unquote shit on their exes. They also will use younger women as a way to ego boost themselves to let themselves know that they still got it. Right? And more importantly, most importantly, they will use younger women because they are impressionable and usually, in most cases, they are a little bit easier to groom and or manage and or control. Got it? Okay. So with that being said, right, I was sitting here thinking, I was like, man, that's kind of crazy. But as a woman, we've all kind of been through situations like that, in some form or another, right? Because we know misogynists because they're like, I don't know, everywhere. But I was sitting there thinking, I was like, yo, what if maybe God knew that men wasn't shit? And I say that jokingly. But I was like, what if God knew men wasn't shit? And this was actually the way it's supposed to be. Check this out. Okay, so we all know that most men had a sexual peak when they younger, right? They hit their sexual peak probably when they younger. I think most men usually tap out probably about 35 as far as sexual peaks, right? And most women, we don't get into our sexual peak until we get older. Usually, most of us, that's after we've had children, which is probably like our 40s or whatever, right? So we always talk about like monogamy and staying together. Like we should be together. You should marry somebody for a lifetime. This, that, and the third. What if naturally it ain't really supposed to be like that? What if actually men are supposed to date younger women all the time because God know they ain't shit? And I say this because right, you date a man, right? He go through different phases every 5 to 10 years. Usually every 10 years he a whole different person. He in a different phase of his life, right? And you date a woman, you marry a woman, every 10 years she in a different phase of her life. Same difference. And usually when men start to get older, sadly, a lot of them get sick of their wives. And they don't want to grow and change and get older with their wives. So usually a lot of them tend to get rid of their wives or longtime girlfriends and they end up talking to someone younger. Right? They end up coercing with somebody that's younger, removing the older woman for a younger one. And nowadays, us women are starting to realize that these young men out here can satisfy us a little bit more than these older men that's out here. You dig what I'm saying? So a lot of women are starting to date younger too. And just noticing that a lot of this stuff is going on, it made me think like, are we really actually meant to be married to a lot of these men for long periods of time? You know what I mean? Because the older these men get, the more stuck in their ways they get, the more boring they get, the more you really don't want nothing to do with them. Just I'm just On average, this is what I'm saying. I'm not talking about everybody relationship. They get boring, bruh. And sometimes they need somebody to look at them, is, I don't know, the person that they're not. Because we do know that a lot of these men, they get older, they get boring, they get stuck in their ways. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. They want you to be, they try to control everything. They get all weird. They start getting into this misogyny, and it just becomes a situation. So what if they actually do need younger women biologically to keep them, I don't know, relevant? And I hate to say that, but for real though, like keep them relevant because it's more to this story. And like as far as women go, like women, we're gonna be down for you no matter what. But sadly, sometimes staying with that one man for a long period of time, you miss out on a lot of fun things in your life. You have to sacrifice a lot of things that you want for this itchy ass man. No pun intended. All facts though. You really, really do. So, are we really supposed to stay with them? I think about it like this, like when a woman starts to get older, she starts to get more sexually, you know what I mean? She starts to reach her sexual peak the older she gets. Maybe she's supposed to date a younger man. You know what I mean? And the older a man gets, his sexual peak goes down. But if he dates a younger woman who don't know what she doing sexually, she thinks she think this man giving her the business, and he not. So she's satisfied with it. You know what I'm talking about? Like sexually, we compatible. So it really made me think like, hmm, hmm. I wonder if we really got this marriage and dating thing all wrong. Maybe we only supposed to be together for maybe like 20 or 30 years, and then we actually supposed to just spin off to somebody else that arouses us better. Right? Does that make sense? Because really men, when they younger, they're dating for looks mostly. You know what I mean? For looks, business wise. That's usually what they're dating for. So it really doesn't have anything to do with love, right? It really just doesn't. But the older they get, they start to want somebody that loves on them more, like how a younger child would love on their father and think the world of them. So of course they would want a younger woman that would love on them and think the world of them. That's crazy. It's ironic how that happens. And as a woman gets older, she doesn't love as much as she used to. You know what I mean? She just kind of wants to be secure and have fun and enjoy herself. So she becomes the opposite of the man, and the man becomes the opposite of the woman as we get older. So like a man can have children his entire life, right? Think about it. But as a woman gets older, she don't want to have kids like that. And as a young man is starting to grow into himself, he don't really want to have kids like that. So it kind of like biologically match up. So have we been dating wrong this whole time? I know that sounds crazy, but for real though, I think we've been looking at this love thing wrong for a long time. Think about it.